Woo! Thorny with the checkers. Man, I'm sorry that I doubted you, and I apologise that Glazer's letters, cause that goal there was a maddest. And I don't mean James Madison, cause there's no comparison. When he hit that ball, I just knew that it's going in, but it feels like we can't get a win, like what's happening? Woo! Thorny with the checkers. Man, I'm sorry that I doubted you, and I apologise that Glazer's letters, cause that goal there was a maddest. And I don't mean James Madison, cause there's no comparison. When he hit that ball, I just knew that it's going in, but it feels like we can't get a win, like what's happening? Woo! Yo, this is the OT99 Banter Room where opinions are shared and smoke gets served. Look, we're back again with another one. It's your boy Firms and it's NK, and we're back again to talk about the matter at hand, which is Manchester United drawing against Fulham at home. Look, this is the first time Manchester United fans were able to gather. We gathered in our thousands at home. Look, in one hand, the fans had something to praise, had something to shout about, had something to sing about. On the other hand, look, we leave the match, dropping 2 points, clearly dropping 2 points, not being able to wrap up the game, not being able to wrap up second spot. And Manchester United seem like they're losing momentum in a time where we don't want to be losing momentum. Look, for me, NK, yeah, I see it as this, like Manchester United hobbled over the line last season when we went on that tremendous run where we got top three. We started to hobble over the line, and it was, nerve-wracking. And I feel like Manchester United is following in the same suit where we're hobbling over the line, and quite frankly, we could end up finishing third with no trophy. You know what I mean? It's a possibility. I know we haven't thought about it, but it is a possibility. If we get spanked, we don't get a draw against Wolves. I think that's our next game, right? We get spanked. Leicester going to win surprisingly today, going to win tomorrow, like win their next game, sorry. It's possible. But anyway, let me know your thoughts, man. Let me know what you think.
Yeah, I mean today it was great to kind of like have the fans like in the stadium, so you can feel like, okay, you know what, this is it. And only talk about like building momentum to kind of like go into like the the finals, because Villarreal, they won the weekend, they went 4-0. They literally won 4-0 at the weekend,
Who was it? Sevilla they beat, innit?
Like,
who did they beat? Who did they beat? Was it?
They beat Seville.
Seville, yeah.
4-0. I mean, someone had like a red card and stuff like that, but it was still a win, It gave them confidence going. Yeah, it gave them confidence going inside too. And then you're looking at that, and then we just like here talking about
what do you call it? Barking away, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you just kind of like, we just like there, and then we kind of like talking about game momentum, like going to the finals, and then this is what literally like happens, that we go there, and then like today, the only good thing about the performance today was Cavani's goal. It was just out of this world, like literally out of this world. And then like literally straight after that, the whole kind of like performance there. I mean, if the players are trying to convince Oli to like start in the finals, none of them, apart from Cavani, none of them done themselves like justice, And I don't think Maguire is playing the finals. I really don't think he's playing the final. So Oli just like need to kind of like look for a new tactics that's gonna get the best out of this team, because this formation ain't it. This defense ain't gonna win us the trophy, and that's for sure.
And that's the worrying thing, man. This is the worrying thing, and this is why, Maguire, man, the importance of Maguire now is becoming more and more evident right now. Do you know what I mean? Right. With all the criticism that we gave him, I feel like it's pretty clear to see that, he's needed. He was a consistent figure for Man United since he joined, and now we're realizing how much we kind of need him. But I mean, going on to the Cavani point that you mentioned, it was a crazy goal. Let me just talk about that. It was crazy. And I know, VAR, there's questions of VAR. But for a Manchester United fan, we don't care. We want to take whatever goal we can. You know what I mean? It was a finely taken finish, regardless of whether it was onside or offside. The goal, right? Cavani's awareness. He's using his sort of intuition, his initiative to be able to just hit that first time, without even thinking, the right amount of finesse, power, accuracy on that ball for it to just slot into the net was amazing. Love the keeper. Yeah. When he hit that, I knew something was going to happen, you know what I mean, with Cavani. Well, Cavani's just he's world class. And you know what? We got really lucky in getting Cavani. and he is showing his worth. Look, I checked out his stats. Come on, yeah, his stats, right? For a guy that's like, what is he, 34 years old, right?
Yeah, 34 years old, yeah.
This guy's got 16 goals and in all competitions. And it's amazing considering like he played like maybe a half, you know what I mean, of our games.
Half the games, yeah.
And not only does he score, but that guy, like, his link-up play is really good. So I remember him slotting in a ball. Who did he slot in a ball to again? He slotted in a ball to Greenwood.
Fernandes.
And Fernandes.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And obviously, Greenwood, you expect him to finish off balls.
That Greenwood there, that was a shame from him, yeah.
Do you know, it could have added another couple assists to his game, but what he's got is he's got a really good touch, and he's got vision as well. He's not only just a goal scorer; he's almost like a Harry Kane, but just an older version of him. He really is quality, and I feel like, today he had me thinking, do we need Kane? Do you know what I mean? He had me thinking, do we need? And then then we finish off the game like this, and I'm thinking, we need all the smoke, we need everything. You know what I mean?
We need all the smoke. I mean, his goal was a beautiful goal. David De Gea, he kind of like started like the move, and we probably maybe have to another day talk about it, because I feel like that guy's our number one. Today he had a very solid game. I'll be surprised if he doesn't start the Europa League final. Like he started the move, like, so he just kind of like just that long ball, and then all Fernandes have to do was just like literally like flick it. He just like literally the minute he just saw the ball, only thing was looking at, he looked at the goalkeeper, so that was just there. And it was just beautiful. It reminded me of like when Rooney scored a similar goal like that too, And it was just kind of a very beautiful. And then after the goal, just for like, okay, we just go 1-0. Fulham, don't forget, they are a relegated team. They just got relegated, so you feel like, okay, let's go on, let's get the second goal, and just literally take our feet off the pedal. But I don't know, with this team, you just never know. I mean, you just never know what was gonna kind of like come out of it. Like today, we should have taken our chances. We had a few chances to put the game to rest, and we just didn't do that. Yeah, we just didn't do that, and it's just a question mark. Like, is it the players? Is it the managers? I don't know. Like, I just can't put my fingers around that whole thing.
We're losing steam. You know what I mean? We're losing steam, and this is where, against Fulham, it shouldn't be any excuse with Fulham. I know we had a tough game against them, even in the first game where we won 2-1. It wasn't an easy game, and now today we drew 1-1. But I feel like a team like Manchester United, if you're talking about going on to win titles, challenging your likes of cities, is games like this. I don't care like if the season is over. It's a mentality thing in my mind. It's a mentality thing. You really do need to be going into these games saying, you know what, Fulham, you're catching an L. Fulham need to know that they're getting an L before they step out into that tunnel. Do you understand? Don't try and come out and be playing United. It's a mess. Manchester United as a team is so confusing to me, because you've got, on one hand, you've got a team here where they're second in the league, and luckily for them, they've lost the last 2 games and drew this one, and they're still in a position where they can finish second, which says a lot to what they've done leading up to today, right? They're in a position where they're in Europa League final, even though they got knocked out of Champions League, right? Which they should have been knocked out of. So it's just a team that is just very, very confusing. Manchester United, you really don't know what you're going to get with them. Games that we should be winning, we're not. Games that, we need to be doing a big miraculous comeback, saying and beat. This is a team that's beating your PSGs in the group stages, beating your what do you call it? Your who's that other that team that knocked us out? RB Leipzig, yeah. You know what I mean? We're beating them. Then second leg, we're getting spanked, and then this team's so confusing. Why is it so confusing, bro?
It is confusing. You know what? Like, because yesterday I was just kind of like thinking about it. I said, look, ain't no way Maguire is gonna make the finals, because even today he was still in crutches too. And then I'm just looking about it. Like, the last time Maguire didn't kind of like play in the team was the first leg against PSG, the first game, and he didn't play that game too. And I remember we played 3 at the back. Yeah. So I'm thinking, are we gonna? Because I was just checking, because I was just checking to see something, because obviously we talk about McFred a lot. And at the beginning of the season, Solskjaer actually didn't start with McFred. The first game of the season, Pogba and Matip started to kind of like play. And then after we just got spanked by, Spurs, yeah, we just never saw that combination again. you know. So we just talk about the team is just confusing because I feel like the manager still don't know his best midfield combination. Those two defensive midfielder thing is literally giving Ole a big issue because he don't know what a big combination is for him. And today game that I watched too, one thing I just realized too is it's not necessarily even those two guys that's the problem. It's the way we press. We want to be a pressing team, but we don't know how to press. And by doing that, if a team literally beat the press a little bit, they just beat our press a little bit, we are all over the place. Because you either want to press or you want to have the block there. That is just very hard for team to kind of like get behind you. We don't do that. There's no team shape. Like you will never see them there. You know how normally when team are literally like defending, you will see like the back four there and then the front four there and then everybody just behind the ball and then the team trying to like break them down. We don't do that. When you get the ball, you see Cavani will run, then Bruno will run after it, then Pogba will run after it, then Fred will run after it, and then you see Fred all the way up there, and then the gap between the midfield and the defense is just huge. So just
you're pressing in isolation. No.
Right. And if you saw the goal 2, that's the same thing that happened with the goal 2. Obviously, it hit the referee. He just tried to literally like do the drop ball. And then boom, they just kind of like pass it. And we were defending so narrow. Yeah. That goal that we did today, go watch the goal we considered against Leicester. It was a very similar thing. The cross came from the left-hand side. The guy behind the right back was so free. All he had to do was literally just hit it. Today to the same thing too. When that ball came, right. Today too, when that goal came too, he was literally free. The guy was free. Same goal happened against Leicester. Same goal happened against today. And then if you go watch against Brighton at the beginning of the season too, when we thought that we got that draw, when they scored the last minute goal, it was the same goal we conceded. Cross come from the left-hand side. I don't know how we defend, because when we defending, Maguire will go and cover where Luke Shaw is. And then obviously Lindelof will also push back to be in Maguire's position. And then Wan-Bissaka will be where the other centre-back to be. So the question is, whoever is playing on the right needs to be covering that position, but no one else is covering that position. And they just literally get a free one. So, and this is something that the coach needs to just see, the manager needs to see and say, hey, when we're defending, this is how you're supposed to be. Like, track back. I don't know. So that gotta be the scope.
I saw that. So I saw that the fact that, I saw that cross coming, and what I did see is Wan-Bissaka had no idea about his surroundings. He had no idea what was behind him. I see him look to his right once. He had no idea what was going on behind him. Do you know what I mean? So he thought like, him covering that centre-back position, or that was the only attacking threat. That was, that Joe Bryant guy was free as anything.
That's not his man though. That's the I'm trying to say, because when all of them are pushing forward, whoever is playing on the right wing is supposed to come and cover there. Because if he is to go, like, cause you know what, the last goal that we considered we had the same problem too, because he went close to Vardy. Wan-Bissaka went close to cover Vardy, which was not his man, because obviously our defense kind of pushed forward. So he went to cover Vardy, and then once he went to go cover Vardy, the man that he's supposed to cover is free over there too. Today too, similar too. If he doesn't cover that centre back there, that centre back is going to get a chance to kind of like score. So he goes there to just do that as a defender. That's what you do, because you don't really know the back. Whoever is just tracking back, that's what normally people be calling for Daniel James, because if James was there, he'll probably be there covering the backside of him. So that's what I'm just trying to say. This is when the manager, someone needs to be shouting to say, hey, that guy is free. Who is the one shouting to say, hey, that guy is free?
There's no communication. Yeah, you're right. The communication is a bit dry. And another thing as well about that I wanted to raise about sort of Wan-Bissaka is the fact that I think United as a whole is not really good or coordinated in terms of keeping our offside line, like or keeping our defensive line. There's always someone that is playing on, and it's usually Wan-Bissaka. He's the one that's got in advantage where he can see the whole line of the pitch, like he can see the whole pitch. It's not the first time that's happened where he's played on the attacker, like whoever we're playing. It's not the first time that he's played them on. I know it was only like a toenail sort of length, but he should be ensuring that this guy is always on side. He needs to be in line with his next person there. He's always playing a defender on side. And I feel like that's a part of his games that he needs to sharpen up, as well as his awareness, because he gets caught drifting in and doing all of these things. Yeah, I know that the winger should be tracking back and doing his thing. But at the end of the day, that man was his. And he lost that guy. He really did lose the guy. And I feel like he needs to be doing more. Secondly, Luke Shaw, I think he let that cross come in too easily. He let that cross come in too easily. He should have been there blocking. It's like we almost have too much faith. Like Manchester United don't know that we're poor in set piece. Like we're poor when it comes to crosses being whipped in. We're poor. But yet we should be doing everything that we need to do to stop them crosses from even coming away. Stop giving away free kicks or whatever it is. I know we didn't do that for the score, but we just need to be stopping those type of crosses coming in the ball. I feel like we just Luke Shaw just let that. It was weak effort, weak attempt.
It's always been, of course, look, the thing about, anytime we defend, like Wan-Bissaka, most of the time, he will stop the cross from coming in.
Yeah.
And even if the cross kind of like go in there, you got Maguire at the other far post, so he can either deal with it when Lukaku is very kind of like good and also kind of like sometimes just dealing with that last kind of like mini header where they can just kind of like, if you're not going to header, just literally just tap it and then they just kind of like missing them a little bit for them to kind of like shoot, Luke Shaw is very, very, but from the cross, when the cross coming from the left-hand side, Wan-Bissaka, as I said to you, his first season was very good defensively. Now he's kind of like adding that attacking side to his game. So why not? What he need to learn is when I attack and the ball is coming, how quick do I come back? And when I come back, to what position do I also need to kind of like pick when you do that too? And this is where you need that kind of like leader at the back who's literally organizing them. When they're coming back, you need to be organizing like, hey, stay here. Hey, let's push up. If you play football before, that's what the centre back do. Or even sometimes the goalkeeper just does that. They're like, out. And everybody kind of like go out with it, So once someone scream like, let's go out, you just do that. Luckily today, like the two backs for Lindelof, I never see him talk. I'll never see Lindelof talk before. He had a decent game. He had a bit of a decent game today too. He got bullied 1 or 2 times, but you can always associate that with him too.
That's what I wanted to touch on.
He got bullied 1 or 2 times too, but it just, that's his game. That's his game. We all know that's his game. That's all his game. Personally, I feel like in the final, we need to play free at the back. We have to play free at the back. Same formation we play against like PSG, because against PSG, like when we play them, we play free at the back. We have to play. If we play 2 at the back, like 4 at the back, mate, they're going to expose us. Cause
you know what? I'm worried about 3 at the back because I'm worried. I don't think we play it enough to be able to trial it in the final. I feel like our strongest formation is if we're playing 4-2-3-1. I feel like that's our strongest formation. That's the one that's trial and tested. And I do feel like if we go to 3 at the back, it could be a big risk. It could be something where we thought would work, but backfires. And then, our fullback areas, they're getting in from behind because our fullbacks are so pushed up so high. I just feel like it will be a massive risk for us. I feel like we really do need to, I think Bailly, the reason why I think Bailly is going to be the guy that plays centre back with Lindelof, because he's got the pace and he's got this, he just needs to keep a rash head for 90 minutes. I think like Tuanzebe is probably not that guy, right? I'm probably thinking, you know what, I know Bailly had a bit of a shocker in the previous game, but that's not how he is. He's rash, but overall you can get decent. You've seen recently that he can get decent performances out of Eric Bailly, and I think if he plays against Villarreal, has a decent performance, it's probably going to be a man of the match with type of performance, and Manchester United go on to lift the trophy.
Bro, look, I'll just tell you, if we stand a chance of winning that game, we're gonna have to pack the bus against Villarreal. As like we're gonna have to hit them on a counter, we literally have to hit them on a counter, and it's sad to say that, but that's the best way we can play. Because if we go and we try to do this kind of like press against like Villarreal, because you know what, they play 4-4-2. Villarreal play a simple 4-4-2. So when they do that, they're gonna have 2 strikers on our back 4. They're gonna do that. And once they get that, they're going to literally, our defense is going to get exposed. Like that kind of a press, they will beat that press easily. Unai Emery is a very kind of like smart guy. We have to go pack the bus and hit them on a counter. Because if we just do that and we give them space in the middle, and 4-4-2, when you play 4-4-2, what does 4-4-2? 4-4-2 means get on the wing and cross the ball in. And we can't even deal with cross. And if Maguire is not in and this kind of like crosses are kind of like coming in, mate, you know what's going to happen. By the time we are 1-0 down, and then we chase the game, and then boom, it's 2-0 down. We literally, I hope Oli got his formation there, because right now we are losing momentum like so bad. And once you lose the momentum against Wolves, for example, you can't even play your strong squad to get a thing, because we got a final to look after. So you're going to have to rest players too. So then, if you lose against Wolves, then all of a sudden we're talking about we haven't won in our last like 4 games, and that's a talk that we're talking going to a final too. And what do we do with Pogba in the final? Is Pogba playing on the left, or is Rashford playing on the left? You know, so many questions, so many kind of like questions, and I don't know.
I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot. I mean, it's worrying me. Like I said, I hope that we, turn up in the final, but it is worrying me. So Manchester United only needs 1 point. So if they get a draw against Wolves, then they've secured second place. Regardless, they've secured Champions League. But obviously Manchester United is going to want to secure second place, even though Europa League is more important. You're going to see them throwing on, maybe your Rashfords or whoever like that, maybe a cameo for Cavani just to, keep him sharp. Where it's always going to be a risk when you're going into a final. Ideally, I would have loved for us to play that same squad that we played against Leicester a few weeks back against Wolves. We've secured second place, rest everyone, and maybe give them a little cameo, actually, like a few minutes here and there, warm up their joints. And then, I will look forward for the final. Now we can't do that. Now we've got to play to the last game, hopefully get a point or 3, and then secure the second place and moving on. But hopefully, we can see what the issues are. We saw it with Lindelof again. He's decent, but he's physically, who henched him out? Was it who henched him out again?
Hello, guy, man.
Carvalho.
Yeah, and that guy's a you, man. He's a you to be doing that, man. He's just a you. I saw that, and I'm thinking, what? That's just a disgrace, coming from him.
This is why we're linked with guys like Sven Botman. This is why we're linked with guys like Pau Torres. And I don't even know about them. I don't watch them enough to even comment on, whatever it is like that. But
yeah,
this is why we're linked with
this kind of thing. This kind of thing is never going to have to happen to Van Dijk. I've seen Van Dijk deal with a lot of like one-on-one situations.
Easy.
He literally just bash them. And if you don't do that too, because if you don't have the speed, don't let the ball get past you like that.
Positioning's got to be
right. Because I think there was one chance that we just let them go, and then luckily they done the show, and then the gear literally like saved it. It was literally like 1-on-1, and like today, Fulham had a lot of chances to win the game, and that's very, very sad because Fulham are a relegated side. We can be linked to all these stars. We got a final to kind of like go through. Our heads should not be going down at that. City got a final to go to too. They're still winning games. So why can't
They're drawing right now, though. They're drawing right now. They got a man sent off as 2-2.
Well, they got a man sent off, but they still won over the weekend. We haven't won in our last 3-4 games, and that's very poor.
Chelsea just scored as well. Timo Werner's 1-0 to Chelsea right about now. But that's crazy. But so just to conclude this though, I wanted to touch on the guy we mentioned earlier. So David De Gea, yeah. Now obviously, we heard the reports now from Sky Sports now saying, is it United want to keep David De Gea now? They want to let go of Dean Henderson now. They've realized that David De Gea is the one to keep, or whatever it is like that, just paraphrasing. After spending a whole year trying to come up with media stuff to unsettle David De Gea, to push him out, Now they can see that David De Gea now putting in fine performances again, of recent, I can remember Roma where he kept us in the Europa League anyway. And then even today when you saw him do that double save. So against Lookman and Lamina, right? He done that double save, gripped it from the main out. And you just think, this is a goalkeeper that you want to let go, whether it be on loan because no one is going to be able to afford his wages or whatever, and then keep Henderson. I'm just hoping that today was a sign that Ollie's now realised that David De Gea should be his first team keeper. I'm really hoping that he's played and he's going to be playing every single game now to the end. I hope it's not like Henderson playing in Europa League final and David De Gea now playing in these nonsense Premier League games. I feel like with those type of saves that David De Gea is making, he's keeping us in the game. He's stopping us literally from losing the game. Like he's saving us 2 points.
Right.
And Dean Henderson's not that guy to be doing that. From what I've seen anyway, he's not the guy to be doing that. I feel we'll be making a big mistake, and I hope that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's seeing sense now to keep David De Gea and sell Henderson. He's an easier sell to make anyway. Sell Henderson Let him stress out some other club and want to be number one for them. We're doing Henderson a favour, in my personal opinion. He's not number one for England. If he gets first team football at Manchester United, he will be number one and he will replace Pickford easily, without a shadow of a doubt. We're doing him a favour. David De Gea is doing us a favour. He's keeping us in games. He's still a big asset for us, and us letting go of all of that experience, it's not going to be worth.
Yeah, I think with the Henderson, one of the things that he struggled, because when he was in Sheffield United, I watched him at Sheffield, and I remember seeing him at Sheffield, and I'm just saying to myself, like, he's not going to be good at Man United, and not purely because of his goalkeeping ability, because obviously United are trying this thing where we just trying to kind of like play from the back, where you get like your goalkeepers to being part of the play. De Gea is not really good with his distribution. We all know that too. And Henderson, one thing about Henderson is when he came there, he wants to stop being a natural goalkeeper and to become a sweeper goalkeeper. And that has affected the way he plays, He's just like a natural kind of like classic. He needs to just go back to just doing the basic, where he just literally just say, hey, I'm going to stay on my line and I'm just going to do that. That goal that he gave against what you call Liverpool, that Salah one, he came out, literally just left the whole space for Salah to just literally put in the net. De Gea had the same situation today, stay on his line, and then boom, the guy shot it, and then he literally like had an easy save. But I feel like Henderson is going to play on Wednesday against Wolves. So of course they're going to kind of try to develop the players like some rest anyway. But I'll be amazed if De Gea don't start the finals. I'll really be amazed if he doesn't start the final. It's a Spanish team. Like he'll be better suited kind of like for the game anyways. I'll be amazed if he doesn't like start that. But that first 11 is going to be very, very crucial. There's so many questions. Where does Pogba play? Does he play in the middle, or does he play on the left? And if you play on the left too, where do you play Rashford? Like, do you play Rashford on the right? Because he's not kind of like going to be good there too. It's just too much kind of like questions going to the final. But once again, it's not a good form. It's just not going to be a good form kind of like going there. If the fans are feeling nervous, I know the players are feeling it too. And the managers is also going to be worried too. Yeah, let's just hope like Sunday probably get a good result.
Yeah. I think we'll get second still, and I do think, to answer that question that you mentioned about Pogba, I do think he's going to play. He's going to play on the left. It's going to be the same team. It's just like Rashford's going to be starting on the right. David De Gea is going to be in goal. The reason why I say that is because when it comes to this cup final, United's going to be leaning on, especially in difficult situations, as much experience as possible. Guys that have already been there, guys that's already done it, guys that's already lifted trophies. Pogba's already done it. Rashford's already done it. David De Gea's already done it. Greenwood, not so much. Like he's been in the teams where it's part of Manchester United. They've won trophies, whatever. But having that sort of influence directly, has he? Last season, what did we win? Nothing. What did we win last season? Nothing, right?
Nothing.
And that was his most influential. Nothing. Greenwood's most influential season was last season. So, I still think it's going to be Rashford on the right, Pogba on the left, McFred in the middle. He's not going to risk doing one DM.
Yeah, but the only problem is when he does that, he just kind of like. Anyway, hopefully we're going to do a video to kind of like preview that too. Because with me, I'd rather start with Pogba in the middle, because then at least when you're winning, you can take him off and bring McTominay or Fred there to say, hey, I'm winning, so I'm going to protect the lead. The minute you start those two in the middle and you're losing, then you kind of like just like what you do, you bring Pogba back into the middle, and then I don't know. I feel like the first goal in that final is very crucial, If we get the first goal, I feel like we can protect that. But if they score the first goal and then they start to kind of like sit back and then hit us on the counter, that's just gonna affect us too, because we know if we're losing, those two guys don't offer nothing going forward, So
well, put it like this, NK. You're looking at this defense, right? When we had even Maguire and Lindelof, we were worried. Now you're talking about Maguire being out and their defense being even more shaky. You can 100% call it that it's going to be Scott McTominay and Fred there. That's our best line of protection for our centre backs. I can't see it any other way, really and truly. I don't see us saying, we're going to play Pogba and one DM, and then you've got the risk of your Twanzebe, whoever he plays next to Lindelof, or Eric Bailly, or he's not going to do it. He's not going to do it. I think he's going to, even Scott McTominay was doing some clean headers in the box. Remember when he took that centre-back position and out the ball couple? I just feel, that's going to...
I'm just saying, if he don't play Pogba in the middle he might as well just bench him. Personally, I feel like if you don't play him there, he might as well just bench him, because with a team like Villarreal, their pace is going to be very, very important. And if you play Rashford, Cavani, Bruno, and Pogba, we lose that element of like counter-attack. We really lose that. So there's no point kind of like playing that, because now, if you just saw today, we were very, very slow. We are very, very slow. So when you do that, you lose that kind of like pace. And once you just lose the pace, it's a big problem. So I'm just saying, if he's going to stick to McTominay and Fred, then he has to bench Pogba to get a pace. And then if the game go a different way, but then when you bench Pogba too and we are winning too, you don't bring Pogba on when we are winning too, because he's not the best to do the defensive kind of a thing, So I don't know. He's a manager. He get paid to make the big decisions. So I would really want to see how we line out on that game. But I'm sure we're going to talk more about that before the final too.
Of course. Look, you heard it from us. Look, we've said all we can say right about now. We see that the Leicester and Chelsea game's going on right now, so we're going to catch the rest of that. But you know what? We'll be back again shortly. Look, it's Manchester United versus Wolves, whenever that is in. I don't know how many days. We might have a little break. I don't know when that game is next, but I'll check it out.
Wolves, it's on Sunday. Yeah,
it's on
Sunday. Yeah.
I can't even, you see me, I can't even care less about what's happening. Do you know what I mean? All I want to get to is this final, fast track all of this thing. Like for me,
right.
I just want to fast track it. But
get to the finals, get Kane, get Sancho, and get Declan Rice.
Hey, you know what? Like, I mean, that's another show. But let's do this. Get to the final, get them signings in, and then we progress, man. Because for me, I can't be asked to be watching these games. Like for me, I don't even hurt as much as I should be hurting against Fulham, because I know it's done.
We know.
But that's it. So you know what? That was another show from us. This is the OT99 Banter Room, where opinions are shared and smoke gets served. We're out.